What's going on, Falcon fans? Another midday pop up, man. It's always news, and it's going to start ramping up because guess what? OTAs is just 1 week away. Next Monday is mandatory OTAs, and veterans and rookies are all going to be there. So it's going to be a full house, and we're going to have some fun, man. But until then, we're going to sit back, talk a little football about 30 minutes. And give y'all our quick thoughts on Kyle Pitts. And we've been doing that for the last couple of days, but we're gonna keep doing it because like I said, news never rests. And we're gonna also, well, Chris gonna give you thoughts on Cobee Bryant because y'all seen my thoughts about it. I chime back in again, but he had something to say about it. And I don't know how that conversation gonna go, so y'all got to stay tuned because one thing about it, everybody got a different opinion, and sometimes me personally, I can't shut up and I say something I might end up regretting, and I might not regret it, but hey, who knows?
Hey
But
man, just keep being you, Schmitty, man. Just
hey
keep
man,
being
hey,
you.
I'm always be me. But see, electrician, what's going on, man? Vontae Neal, ATLJT, what's good, man? What's good?
How y'all
But
feeling
yeah,
out there?
let's put them up on the screen so we'll know they there. But yeah, man. Look, I'm telling you, it's gonna be interesting. But uh I'm gonna try not to jump the gun, but
Mhm.
introduce yourself like you always do, my brother.
Hey man, how y'all doing, everyone? I'm Chris Tipmore, A1 Forever Sports and Hawks Digest, man. Just hey, it's time to get into a few topics, man. Of course, OTA is going on right now, so every day is something that's going to be out. It's going to be reports. Me and Smitty, we got you. Just tune on in. We about to get into it. What's going on, official murder mob? Mike, what it do?
But yeah, man, we got to talk about this Kyle Pitts thing, man. It look like
Uh-huh.
it is not going to go away anytime soon. So we just gonna keep talking about it. If y'all miss what I had to say about it, man, y'all can go back yesterday or was it Saturday? It was one of these days. See, I get my days mixed up sometimes. But trust me, it's on my playlist and my videos, so you can go check it out. My thoughts on Kyle Pitts and his possible future in Atlanta. But we still gonna talk about it right now because I think Raheem Morris gave us a quick update, and updates are always good. Don't get me wrong, but when you see a lot of updates, it's gonna be rumor swirling. We know how rumors can get. But remember last week, James Palmer reported that Kyle Pitts had a foot injury, and it
Mm-hmm.
was not a contract issue.
Right.
So that's a
Right.
good thing. But
Right.
then today, Joe Patrick said Raheem Morris says Kyle Pitts will continue to be held out of OTAs, declined to discuss the reported foot injury. Then Taryn Wack,
Mm.
Atlanta Falcons insider, said Raheem Morris said Kyle Pitts is not being present at open practice. You won't see him here. He's here. He's been here. We're
Mm-hmm.
going to be extremely cautious with him. Now, you can describe that in any kind of way you want because one thing about it, sometimes you got to read between the lines. And honestly, I don't know what to make of it. What do you make of it before I give my thoughts?
Oh man, to be honest, it could be what he's saying, could be precautionary. We already know that sometimes the goalpost gets moved, but I do think that I'm going to go with my gut, and my gut is saying that they're holding Kyle Pitts out. So just because of just like Ross saying, so they want to basically like bring him along. He's there, give him good treatment, stuff like that. I don't know where the foot injury would possibly have came from. But at the end of the day, yeah, if you're planning on keeping the guy or saying planning on, making him a focal point of the offense, with Michael Penix, yeah, saying don't do anything that could possibly linger on later on. The next thing you know, mid season, Kyle Pitts is missing time because of a foot because we rushed him back too soon. Coaching staffs and training staffs do make mistakes too, and they do rush players back too fast sometimes. Because of course, you got to get them out on the field. The money's on the line, et cetera, et cetera. So, a precautionary on the guy that has a huge year ahead of him, hopefully, and just saying as far as his contract, what's going to happen with his future with the team. Period. You just want to make sure that he's the best of the best that he can be.
Facts, facts, facts. And I know y'all want me to jump off the bridge, but I'm not going to do it this time. Um, I agree with what he said, man. I think it's a precautionary thing. And sometimes you can read between the line because of what's been going on. We look at what's been going on the last couple of years with his production. You look at the
Mhm.
5th year option of 10.8 million. You look at the rumors of him possibly being, in trade discussions. And
Mm.
nothing imminent. It's just trade discussions, what we talk about every offseason.
Right.
But as I also told y'all got to think about it too, man. And trust me, I'm I'm a witness to this. I've been through this. When something on your body gets injured and it
Mhm.
has to recover fully, guess what? It's like a clock. If one of the hands stop rolling, guess what? It's gonna get thrown off. So as I told y'all the other day, he had an MCL injury, PCL. So when you have an injury sometimes with that knee, guess what? When things are not aligned right while it's healing, you could possibly get an ankle injury. Yeah, you can get turf toe. You can get foot fracture, anything with that lower leg. So this is, basically something that's coming off that knee injury, something that he did to cause this because he's still recovering. And as I told y'all, it was a 2-year process. Yeah, they come back and play probably a year after that injury, but he had on the knee brace all of 2023.
I'm telling
So
you.
just think about that. He was playing on really, I would say 70 to 75% of that
Mhm.
knee in 2023.
Had half a
So
leg. Had half a
right,
leg.
right. So now when you look at it 2 years later, he should be at 100%. But guess what? Something else is going to happen with that same side of his leg where he hurt that knee. Now it's the foot. So
Mm-hmm.
now he has to recover. That might not take long, but at the end of the day, look, it happens. It's
Right.
it's it's human nature.
And
It's
also,
what
Smitty, think about it because it's all connected. Got to make sure that Achilles is all the way right too. So
right.
a lot of things that you got to look at when that whole thing coming from the knee down, the shin, the calf. So you got to make sure all that stuff is good to go. Those little
Facts.
soft tissues that's around the ankle and going down, leading down to the foot. It's a lot, man.
Yeah. I mean, one thing about it, they always say, if you wreck a car, it'll never be the same. And it's the
Right.
same with your body. If something happens to it, now take it from somebody that's had 25 surgeries. When something goes wrong, something else goes wrong. It just happens. That's why I say I know exactly what he's going through. So hey, I mean, we can read between the lines about trades and all that, but until it pops up on the feed that he's been traded
Right.
and he says he's want to be traded, don't
Something like
believe him.
that. Yeah,
Yeah.
something like that. Yeah. Because
Yeah.
again, and we said this before, at least I know we had a show. I said this before, and I'll say it again. Michael Penix's voice has to mean something. He's voiced it
Absolutely.
many, many times
Absolutely.
that he wants Kyle Pitts on his team. He's already worked with Kyle Pitts individually. He's working with Drake London, Darnell Mooney, trying to tie up those loose ends where his receivers get on point right now. And I love that. I love that. So you
Yeah,
want
what's
to
up?
hear that. You want to see that. What's good, family? And everything. So it's just like, hey guys, Kyle Pitts is probably going to be here. It's not a bad thing that he wants to be here because we want to see if Kyle Pitts can have a season. Well, it's too many weapons now, so I don't see 1,000 yards to be honest. Just too many weapons now. But we want to see him be a X factor. We want to see him take off, and be that guy across the middle, be that guy on the outside, inside, be able to be that ultimate weapon that we drafted him to be at number 4. So if Michael Penix can finally unleash that, something that we've seen similar to 2021, as long as he get it down pat, shoot, let's do it, man. And let's try to see if we can maximize on Kyle Pitts finally.
But like I told y'all, man, I just think it started when um they did not build an offense around him. You make
Mm-hmm.
him a number 4 pick, you got to build an offense around him. You look at Travis Kelce in Kansas City. When Tyreek Hill left, he became the focal point of the offense. When he opens up the middle of the field, it makes it easy for everybody else on the field.
There you
And
go.
that's what the Falcons should have did. If Kyle Pitts is controlling the middle of the field, guess what? When you run the zone run to the outside probably gonna be open because they focus on Pitts trying to take over the middle of the field. So one thing about it, everything has to have a rhythm to it. So when they get a rhythm to their offense and go 100%, Kyle Pitts has to be a part of that. no matter whether they like it or not. Zach
Yeah.
Robinson tried it to me, and I've seen people getting mad when I said it. To me, it seems like Zach Robinson was taking a shot at Kyle Pitts, but you got to take some accountability for it too because you the offensive coordinator. You got to
Mm-hmm.
implement Kyle Pitts, get him the football, make sure he's part of the game plan. Because guess what? If he's part of the game plan like he's supposed to be, Drake London, Darnell Mooney, Ray McLeod, Casey Washington, whomever else is on the field, they gonna
Mm-hmm.
benefit. And hell, you gonna benefit as an offensive coordinator because that makes your job that much easier. So you got to take some of the pressure off yourself by using some of your biggest weapons. If he doesn't learn to do that, what's the point of keeping Kyle Pitts? It ain't no point.
Yeah, yeah. No, that's true. That's true. I mean, he has to pick it up, honestly. I mean, I love those comments from Zach Robinson. I know a lot of people were saying, oh, he throwing shots. Oh, get Kyle Pitts out of Atlanta. Everybody's going to try those. The media is going to try to put those reports out there and try to kind of like jump on it and act like it's something there when it's really not. Everyone's looking for it's the slow season, y'all. Everyone's looking for some kind of report.
But
So
I would have loved for him, honestly, I would have loved for him to say, I got to make Kyle Pitts a focal point.
yeah,
I
no,
got to
now
put Kyle.
I was getting to that. I definitely was
Okay, go
getting
ahead.
to it.
Go ahead. Go
Yeah,
ahead. Go ahead. Go
yeah,
ahead.
because I mean, you had already had just laid out to make the table. You got to have some accountability both ways. It can't just be all on one person. Like Zach Robinson has got to put Kyle Pitts in the best situations that's for Kyle Pitts. You got to know the strengths and the weaknesses. And for Kyle Pitts, you got to just get into the playbook, go out there and execute on the field because now you have to be at least 100% healthy. I know you're going with the foot, but regardless, you got to go into this 100% healthy. And
Right.
from the Falcons organization to Kyle Pitts, so y'all we got to work together because this is a high overall draft pick and a very important year for both parties. So
Facts.
I'm just saying, man,
Absolutely.
got to get it together. Yes, it is
I,
marvelous Monday to be a dirty bird. Christy
it
Lewis,
is.
what's going
It
on?
is not Monday. Sorry, it's not morning. It's afternoon.
Mm.
You might be a little bit behind today, but let me borrow $5 to get me a sandwich, because it's lunchtime.
Never know, man. Krista may be on the West Coast right now.
She might be. Hey, who knows? She traveled. We just need Cal to make big plays when his number is called, like he did in the Commanders game. Absolutely.
Yeah.
And the point that I'm trying to make really, if you go back and look at his rookie season, Matt Ryan as a veteran quarterback, he made sure Kyle Pitts got the football. He looked for him. Yeah, he only had one touchdown, but he made catch after catch after catch and ended up with 1,000 yards. So that's all we needed, just production. That's all I'm saying. And don't get me wrong, Michael Penix just going to his second season, so he's going to have hiccups. And we talk about the last 3 games of the season. Guess what? Those 3 games, teams got tape on him now.
Yeah.
So they're
True.
going to go through those 3 games, study the tape, see what his strengths are, see what his weaknesses are, and the Falcons have to adjust on the fly. If they can do that, no problem. Everything on flow. Just cool, man. Just cool.
At
Vontae said
least
this
a lot
morning at
smoother.
Arizona. Yeah, a lot smoother, absolutely. And they got all the weapons for their offense to run smoother. So really no excuse. Just keep it. Keep it 100.
Yeah.
Terry Fontenot gave them all the groceries they needed on offense. He just
Right.
had a stellar draft and good undrafted class on defense. So I don't think this coaching staff has any other excuse this year but to get the job done.
Yeah. 100%. 100% on that.
Mike Kelly said he over KP.
Yeah,
Uh,
I feel you. I
I
think
feel
about
you, man. Go
I
ahead.
was,
Go ahead.
I was just about to say the thing about it is listen, any fan and this is coming from me, any fan who feels some type of way about Kyle Pitts in his final year, of his contract, I ain't got no complaints. Because at the end of the
Nope.
day, we've seen times to where it's just like, man, come on, Kyle. We've seen things like going back to National Tight End Day and almost costing us a touchdown by not finishing the play all the way through the end zone. That right there puts such a sour taste in a lot of people's mouths. And we already have the things about, oh, he doesn't finish routes, oh, he doesn't go across the middle, he doesn't do this, he doesn't do that, he doesn't do this, he doesn't do that. So I understand where fans come from when they say, hey, man, I'm over KP, or but at the same time, you got to believe that our quarterback, That's who I'm believing. I'm believing in the organization, like Zach Robinson, being able to put him in the right places. I'm believing in our quarterback, Michael Penix Jr., who believes he can maximize on Kyle Pitts because Kirk Cousins did not. There was that disconnect. They did not have a connection the entire season. So, with that being said, just give Michael Penix a shot. If it's not looking good, halfway through the season, you never know what may happen with Kyle Pitts. But we at least got to
Miss
give Michael
Carey.
Penix a chance. What's good,
Yeah,
Kerry? How you
absolutely.
feeling?
Absolutely. But before we go to the Cobee Bryant situation, we were talking backstage before the show started that you look at the coaching staff and how long it took to get this coaching staff back up to par. And we looked at that what draft was that? 2016, the
2016.
Super Bowl season, and you
Right.
compare this team to that team. Well, this draft to that draft. It's very similar in certain instances, but if you look at the talent that's uh, on this roster, I think it's significantly better. And the
Bro,
reason why I
I'm
say that,
telling you.
don't get me wrong, no shot at Deion Jones, no shot
Right.
at Keanu Neal, which
Right.
I honestly think it was too high to take a safety anyway, unless it's a Jamal Adams. But
17.
that's neither here nor there. But Brian Poole, Keanu Neal, Deion Jones. Who else was on that team?
Austin
Grady Jerry,
Hooper,
Austin Hooper,
Devondre
Grady.
Campbell, Wes
Right,
Schweitzer, Devin Fuller. So we had 7 draft picks, and then you want, like you just said, Brian Poole. You throw him in, that's 8. Just
right.
throwing in.
And he was undrafted.
Right, right, right.
So if you look at what the Falcons have in those 5 picks, we talk about also Ricardo Allen. Absolutely. When you talk about what the Falcons have accumulated with the 5 picks that we have, you look at the 2 edge rushers and Walker and Pierce. I think they could possibly day one starters, or they're going to be key rotational guys for the first half of the season. You look at the 2 DBs that we've talked about in Watts and
Bowman,
what's the
Bowman Jr.
Bowman, right? And then Jack Nelson, you can't leave him out because I think he can be an integral part of the run game. But if you look at this roster, how is with the undrafted free agents, you look at Cobee Bryant, you look at Nick Nash, you look at Joshua Simon, you look at
Simeon Barlow.
Simeon Barrow, right. So when you look at the talent level, until they hit the field, we don't know. But if I'm betting money, this team could possibly be just as good as the Super Bowl team, because you got a second year defensive lineman just like Grady Jarrett was on that team. You got the same with Rook and Brandon Dortons on this team. Then you look at them getting a defensive line coach and Brian Cox on that team, one that didn't play no mess. Then they bring in Ollie from the Colts, so who's pretty much an aggressive type guy, who knows how to dial up defensive plays with the defensive line. So the similarities are just eerie, man. That's all we saying. And it takes you a while to replace a coach, because right quick, tell them the coaches that was on that team, on that staff, and how many of them got away.
Well, I mean, it's not just the coaching staff. I mean, like you were saying, I was trying to get in on that. Schmitty just be no, all jokes aside. No, but like I want to jump back to what you were saying about taking Keanu Neal at 17. Like, now that was pretty high. He was coming out of Florida, and they were high on the guy. But Smitty, the thing about it is, and I don't want to get the fans too riled up, but things are eerily similar. That draft, we took a safety. Of course, we took technically like 2 safeties. This draft, that we took, linebackers are guys who can rush the passer, get after it. We took Deion Jones. We took Devondre Campbell. Wes Schweitzer was in that draft. Jack Nelson in this draft. Then I mean, even though Devin Fuller, he was drafted, he never played. But at the same time, Nick Nash, I know he was undrafted. Cobee Bryant, another guy undrafted. Brian Poole was undrafted then. Now, the only thing we didn't do was take a tight end, but you already said Joshua Simons. So it's so eerily similar, like how these different type of players that we got then and the different type of players we got now. And on paper, when I look at these draft picks, when I look at the undrafted draft picks, you know, I'm saying, from both seasons, both years, fam, this year right here is better. It's like on paper, they're better. They still got to hit the field, yes. But when I just look at these guys and look at those guys, they are better. These guys are
And
faster. These guys are more athletic. These guys get
the
after it.
the only the
I'm just
only
saying.
step the only difference to me is the MVP quarterback and Matt Ryan, the veteran quarterback. That's the only
Absolutely.
difference. Because when you look
Absolutely.
at Tevin Campbell, Tevin Coleman, I don't know why I always say that. Tevin
You
Coleman,
showed.
Tevin Coleman and Devontae Freeman, who lost his mind the other day on social media. I don't know what's going on with him. But D-Led put him in this place.
Talk about that.
Um, you look at those two running backs, and you have Bijan and Tyler here right now. So, I mean, it's just crazy how, and I tell y'all all the time, it's funny how history repeats itself. It
Nah,
just
for real.
does. So, man,
Again, we ain't trying to start no mess, but we just saying it's eerily similar. We just pointing out the similarities. Now
and
there
we
is
talking about
differences,
coaching
but yeah, yeah, the coaches.
before you name those coaches.
Okay,
Dan Quinn was the coach. He was the second year coach right there.
right there,
Raheem Morris second year right now.
right.
We talked about Brian Cox and Ali, and
Mm-hmm.
you look at Jerry Gray, veteran mastermind on defense, secondary guy.
Right,
So
right. I
talking about
mean,
the offensive side of the ball, Zach Robinson, West Coast style dude, Sean
right.
McVay type offense. But just tell them what offensive guys we had.
Well, you know, we had Matt LaFleur, we had Mike LaFleur, his brother. You know, so we also had Mike McDaniel. You know, we also had Raheem Morris, who at the time was assistant head coach and wide receivers coach. Then, then you had Jeff Ulbrich, who was our linebackers coach then, and who's our defensive coordinator now. Hey, I'm just saying, guys, like it's so many eerily similar things. You know, Kyle Shanahan, of course, second year in the offense. You know, what I'm saying, with the same type players and everything. So second year in the offense for him, second year in the offense for Zach Robinson now. So it's a
Crazy thing
lot of
is, another
similarities.
similarity that you probably won't hear but here. You don't only hear it here. Kyle Shanahan was a head coaching candidate then as the offensive coordinator.
Yep.
Zach Robinson has been named as a head coaching candidate in college and the pros probably next year. So
Yeah.
we could possibly be looking at the same
Yeah.
situation again.
Especially if we
And,
pop.
and the reason why they have to jump out in front of it, like I said with Kyle Shanahan, go ahead and make Zach Robinson the highest paid coordinator in the league, especially if he's producing. Go on and do it right now. Like I said, they did that to Kyle Shanahan. I think he thinks about staying with Atlanta. But again, who doesn't want to be a head coach? But if you make it sweet
Right.
to where, just say like we knew Dan Quinn ceiling was reached at the Super Bowl. Let's keep it real.
Mhm.
The next year they do go 11-5, but they lose in I think the divisional round or the wild card.
Oh yeah,
And
we beat the Rams, and then
we
after
beat the
that,
Rams, so we
that's
got the
when we
Eagles
lost
in the
to the Eagles.
division. Right.
Right.
So when you look at that aspect, if they kept Kyle Shanahan on board, they could possibly say, well, Dan Quinn reached his ceiling after these last two playoff runs. Super Bowl, then drop down to the divisional round, and then after that, 3 straight losing seasons.
I mean,
So,
it sound good, bro, but we already know buddy bags were packed before the Super Bowl.
oh yeah.
So,
Well, we lost that play, but we knew it was over. Let's keep it real.
man,
Because Adrian, I'm just saying, I don't know why that comes, but that lets you know my age. That lets you know my age. That's all. Tevin Campbell, Tevin Coleman, tomato, potato, whatever. But Zigzag, we finna get into that, man. About the Cobee Bryant instance, and I spoke a little bit about it, and I'm gonna let Chris take on this topic because I spoke on it, but once he gives his thoughts on it,
you can
I'm
give
saying
like a little summary, a little summary. I'm pretty sure.
okay. Well, I started off there. Okay, so this is the photo that he put on Snapchat, and really, I had no problem with it, and I'm gonna keep it funky with y'all. I had no problem with it, but at the end of the day, my summary of the whole thing was, and people were mad, talking about, I'm taking up for Lamar Jackson. I must be a Ravens fan. I heard it all, man.
Mm.
And I'm gonna tell y'all right now, I don't care. Y'all can say what y'all want to say. I look, brain
That's
criticism, I don't care. But I'm looking at it from a unk standpoint, and I said that in the video. I'm looking at it as get your feet on the ground, get your feet wet, show them what you got, make the roster. Once you make the roster and you start playing, you can say what you want to say. I mean, I'm gonna stand behind you either way, but
right.
wait till you get your feet wet. Wait till they call your name to put your number on that locker on the 53-man roster before you do something like this. Because guess what? This is a team sport. So
Right.
when you do things like that, it's going to affect your team. And we know social media ruins things, whether it's teams, relationships, whatever. Social media is dangerous, man. And guess
True.
what? Like I told you, what if he ends up starting a game this season at some point? Because I believe he can do it. What if he starts a game and he goes up against one of the top receivers in the league and he gets burned twice for 30 plus yards, 2 touchdowns? Guess what they're going to do? They're going to point right back to that pitch on Snapchat and say, hey, he should have kept his mouth closed until he, figured out how to play the game or something like that.
Right.
Instead of taking shots at somebody, maybe become the elite player that we know you can be first. But my thing is get your feet wet, get your foot on the ground, run and make this roster. And I don't care what you say after that because you will have made it. So that's all I'm saying. I ain't taking up for nobody. Mark Jackson plays for the Ravens. I'm a Falcon fan. I'm just saying, from an unk standpoint, I've been through life and I've seen things like this backfire before. And one instance, never forget it. I know this guy, Anthony Smith, played for the Steelers. Know him personally. He said something about Tom Brady, about gave him bulletin board material. Tom Brady went out through for 400 yards and 4 touchdowns and burnt him twice. So this is why I know things like this can backfire you. It's not going to only backfire on Cobee. It's going to backfire on the team because they're going to say, hey, they didn't put him in this place not to do that. They didn't tell him about, the problems of social media, things of that nature. But look, it happens.
Yeah,
but
that's true. That's true. Man, I ain't gonna lie. When I first seen it, like I thought about it. I've been back and forth in my head about this, and it's just like Smitty, you make so many excellent points, But I mean, and we in the era of social media, we in the era of freedom of speech. But it's just like you do got to pick your battles, right? You do got to pick your battles. I do agree with that. But I will say this on the other side of it too, though. Hey man, I'm here for all the ish. I'm
I
here
am
for
too.
all the
I am
attitude.
too. But
I ain't
look,
saying that you're not. Hold on. I ain't saying that you're not. I'm just saying, like
man,
for me personally, I understand where you're coming from the unk standpoint. And you're absolutely right. We wasn't wrong about anything you said. But for me, I enjoy the attitude. I ain't gonna lie. I love it. Now you do have to make the team after this though. Because at the end of the day, it don't hold no weight, first of all, if you don't make the team.
right.
Also, you know what I'm saying? Say what you want to say. Just know when we do play the Ravens, and if you're on this team, buckle that chin strap real tight because you know what it is. And
Yeah.
if you're ready to step up to it like a man and stand on what you said, or stand on, the jokes and everything that you did, then so be it. I think it just was a joke anyway. I think it was
Yeah,
just,
it was a joke, but
all playing
it was a
around.
joke. But you got to think, Chris.
But you still poking the bear. I get it. You still
Not
poking
only
the bear.
that, you got to think about the media. That's all I'm saying. It don't
Yeah.
care.
And the media are gonna take it and ride with it. This is a team sport at the end of the day. But still, if he's throwing on this logo right here, I'm riding with him. I think he's gonna make the
I
team
am too.
because the
I am too.
team.
But I
I
am
feel
too.
you.
I'm standing behind him 100%. I
Right,
just want him to get his foot on the ground before he started doing anything like that. But hold on, right quick. John Brinkus, sports science host, passed away at
Yeah.
54.
Yes, he did.
Absolutely. Prayers out to his family, man. I used to love that show, man.
Yes, I
Because
did, bro.
They get crazy insights. And you want to talk about analytics? That show started analytics. People will never tell you that. That show started analytics when it comes to numbers, when it comes to they did, I mean, crazy stuff. Velocity of the throw, velocity of the hit, impact. When they study concussions, they use that show. So yeah, that was sad, man.
Right, absolutely,
It's gonna be missed.
definitely,
But go ahead,
definitely.
my bad.
No. It's honestly like RIP to him because I used to watch that show too. I still remember when Brandon Jacobs ran him over.
Right.
So he does some funny stuff, but like you said, analytical stuff, breaking everything down to the science of it. It was a great show. Hate that show wasn't able to continue, but I know he was battling depression and everything like that as well. And depression is real. So please talk to somebody. Have friends around, real people that you can really, confide in, and man, just try not to, go down that road because depression is real. But yeah, but back
Absolute
about
fact.
Cobee Bryant again, too, man. Like I said, he's rocking the Falcon logo. I think he's going to make the team. I know we did sign him to that 3-year deal, and I believe we're giving him 675 mil guaranteed. I mean, excuse me, thousand guaranteed, 675,000 guaranteed. It's just like I think the Falcon staff believe in this kid, and I think that they believe that people made a mistake by not taking him. Like I said, I know he listens to what his name, Young Boy, and all that stuff like that. Hey, that's all good and fine and dandy. If the man wants to speak and wants to talk about it, and if he has that confidence, then let him do the confidence. I know it's a thin line between being cocky and confident. I do, but I need confident players in Atlanta. I need players who don't mind running off at the mouth as long as they're going to back it up. But I need guys who have that attitude. We have missed attitude since like really the early 90s with that bad
Facts.
boy Falcons team. The early 90s, okay? Too legit to quit. When guys really were fearful to face the Atlanta Falcons because they like, man, them guys play dirty over there. Or those
Well, I
guys.
take that. Hey, look,
I want to get back to that, Smitty.
I push back on that a
I
little bit.
want to get back
I
to that.
think I push back on that a little bit. I
So
think we
again,
had that same. I think we had that same type mentality when Dan Reeves was the coach. I think we had that same type mentality
yeah. But my
when
point is the 90s,
around
bro.
2006, 2007. Well, right before Vic went out. Because when Vic was here, Vic was so electrifying, it pumped everybody up on the team. And you just need people like that. This is why I don't have a problem with what he's doing. It's just how he's doing it. If you doing this at practice and having fun with the guys and post it in the film room and say, hey, look at Lamar Jackson, well, nobody can see it, that's fine. I don't care about that. But when you putting it up billboard material for everybody to see, that's just something you got to be careful because that's a double-edged sword.
Hey, at the end of the day, I look at it like this too, man. If we're gonna ride on all our enemies, all right. And at the end of the day, eventually we are gonna play Lamar Jackson. My thing is, this holds no weight if he doesn't make the team. He has to make the team and he has to play well. If he's out there stinking up the joint, then I said all this was for naught. But if you going out there making plays and you going out there being the Cobee Bryant that we see in Kansas and let it translate to the Falcons, man, I'm with it. At the end of the day, this is supposed to be freedom of speech. I'm not running from nobody, and I'm not saying that anybody is scared. Not saying that you are Smitty or anything like that. I'm not afraid of Lamar Jackson.
I mean, you know me, man.
I'm not afraid of hurting anybody's feelings. People talk about our team all the time, running off at the mouth, saying whatever they want to say, having the memes that they want to meme. I don't care about none of that. At the end of the day, give me some attitude. Give me some attitude. He said, "Don't let that little thin ass."
Hey, Mills. Hey, Mills.
It's possible, but that's what I'm saying. You got to buckle that chin strap. You don't put it out there now. You don't put it out there now. It's time to buckle that chin strap. I'm riding with my rope.
Not even if he play Lamar Jackson. Even if he has to play just like Jalen Daniels in the Commanders, he's a mobile quarterback too. If he gets burnt with Jaden Daniels, they gonna bring that up. If he goes up to Minnesota, gets burnt, they gonna bring that up.
Anytime he gets burnt, though,
they gonna bring it up.
Anytime he gets burnt, like anytime he can think about it is he has to be so precise in his technique and in his game now. Because like regardless, Even though I'm riding with you because you a Falcon, but you have added pressure on yourself, yes. And I'm sorry, but in the city of Atlanta, you can go from hero to heel real quick.
Like that.
So
Just like
just
that.
so at the end of the day, I'm with you. I'm riding with you. Give me the attitude because we miss it. I want to get back to those nasty Falcons. I've been talking about it for multiple seasons up here with Smitty and Berto and whomever, that we need to get back to trying to be the bullies. We need to get back to taking over our stadiums, taking over our city. It's too many people down here who not even from here. And they come in our stadiums doing whatever they want, saying whatever they want. I'm with it. Cobee, step up to the plate now and you know what I'm saying, own what you done. But I'm with you. And I'm with anybody else who got attitude, and I'm with anybody else who don't care about what everybody else has to say. It's all about the A. That's where I'm at with it. So if I'm considered a YN supporter for that, then so be it. At the end of the day, I'm supporting my Falcons, because if it was a Saints player, they would be supporting him. If it was anybody else, they would be supporting him. I'm supporting my Rook, Cobee Bryant. Make this team play well, stand up, stand on business for what you said, and everything will be good. Because if you don't, you're going to go from hero to heel very fast.
Yeah. And look, like I said, I was speaking from an aunt standpoint. Ain't got nothing to do with being sensitive. When you don't seen things before, hey, you react to them. That's all I'm saying. And I agree with A1. I stand behind him 200%. But again, I know what the bad side of that is.
Oh yeah, it's always a bad
trust
side.
me, always a bad side, no matter how y'all want to look at it. Because some of y'all same people saying y'all somebody's sensitive, y'all gonna be saying, man, look at him talking all that crap, and then look how he playing. Y'all gonna be the main ones. Tell me I'm lying.
That's why I said, man, he can go from hero to heel real fast. It just all depends on how he plays now. It's all, the ball is literally in his court, and we're gonna go from here. We're gonna go from here, man.
No, Larry, we ain't stunt media. Absolutely.
Nah.
Absolutely. I just speak the
They
truth.
already against us anyway, so it doesn't even matter.
Right. So hey, it's just talk at the end of the day. But hey, Mills, I know you want to know people. You ain't got to tell me, bro. I know you one of them people. Trust me, you've been rocking with me for a long time. I know how you get down. You gonna climb them more than anybody. You gonna be the first person in the chat as soon as the game.
I can see Millie now. Come on in here, y'all. Let's talk about it.
I already know how Mill get
Mill been first with it. Let's talk about it, y'all. No. Don't push the show back. Don't push it back 5-10 minutes.
You already know. What's up, Ryan?
Yes, sir.
Ryan from the Bird Cage.
Family.
Y'all go check out the Bird Cage, man. Hey, look, I'm telling you. Lamar joke was pretty hilarious. Yeah, it was funny. It was accurate to a certain degree too, because when James Harden get to the playoffs, boy, he turned to a wreck player. I'm just saying.
Man.
But Mills, we just saying, man, we know how you get down, bro. Mill, what's up, man? You said Kyle Pitts situation or the Falcons going shopping. That we don't know. I wouldn't read into it that much. But I still think it has associated with that knee injury he had 2 years ago. Yeah, the knee is fully healed, but guess what? While that knee was healing, something else was slightly getting thrown out of whack. So now it's
how you got to compensate. Sometimes,
I've had a Liz Frank injury to my foot, a thin cut, a thin break in your foot, and my foot swelled up like a grapefruit. Just think about that. Think about that. A tiny crack, a hairline crack, can swell your foot up. Think about that.
And you already know what he was doing with that. You know, he had to juke somebody out of his hot wings. And you know what I'm saying? It was all worth it. Trust me. It was all worth it.
Yeah, you had to go there.
I already know what you did. Hold on, watch out, boy. You know what I'm saying? These wings just came out fresh. Hold on, my damn foot doing something.
Hey, Vontae, I ain't gonna lie, I would laugh my ass off.
Bro, that joke was hilarious. It was funny, man. Come on now.
Because you think about it, made sense if you think about
it. Absolutely made sense.
And the funny thing about it, the same thing about it, Lamar done got gypped out of MVP trophies. James Harden got tricked 2 straight years out of the MVP trophy. So, the similarities are there.
Yeah.
So hey,
Playoffs. I mean, you think about his
playoff,
stats, he put up
absolutely.
all kind of crazy stats. Now we knew when James Harden went from what 15 to about 19, but my goodness, James Harden was unstoppable. It just playoffs would stop him.
Dude had the Golden State Warriors 3 games to 1.
If Chris Paul didn't get hurt. I still say I
But
don't know, Steph.
the thing is, when you're a superstar player, you're supposed to be able to pick things up. I'm just
Yeah,
saying.
yeah.
Michael
But they
Jordan
didn't have
carried
no
him
they
on
didn't
his
have
back.
nobody that could bully around Steph no more. You remember Steph was smaller then too.
Yeah. That's
So
true.
they ain't had nobody that could bully him. Chris Paul was bullying Steph, and after that, it was over. That doggone
Yeah.
light skin bandit from three. He just unbelievable, man. So
3 games to
yeah,
1, and you lose. And that happened twice. That happened in OKC too.
so it
The hard
happens, bro.
time they've had. Ooh,
It
boy.
happens.
But yeah, man. Another great conversation, man. We had to come through and talk to y'all about this, man. But again, man, as always, we tell y'all, man, please go to Submitted Sports Machine on YouTube, hit that subscribe button, hit that like button, hit that notification bell. So every time I drop a video, and my boy A1 Forever, please go to A1 Forever, hit that subscribe button, hit that notification bell. Because every time he drop a video, you're gonna know it. So look, we always out here putting together great stuff, man. So
Mhm.
before we get out of here, man, any final thoughts before we go?
Hey, man. At the end of the day, Kyle Pitts, get that foot right because we know what I'm saying we need you to have the best season that you possibly can. Of course, I know you want it for yourself, but from a team standpoint, want you to be that unicorn. You see, I had to hesitate when I said that, but want you to be that type of player. Want you to go ahead and have that type of production. Cobee Bryant, again, I'm with you all day long. Just buckle that trend strap when it's time to get out there on the field. Show everybody who you are, and you know, I'm saying everything will be fine from there. Other than that, man, you know, already know A1 Forever Sports. That's a platform on YouTube. Come over, like, comment, and subscribe. Doing some things, differently with the pages. You know, I'm trying to get more videos and live streams out more so than shorts. So that's what I'm working on over there. I do plan on having like a little shorts channel that's going to have different things up there, you know, from my channel, from sports around and everything like that for the crowd who just likes, you know, some shorts type material. I understand attention spans. But
Facts.
yeah, man. So also, like I said, Twitter, A1 Forever, Instagram, A1 Forever, the real A1 Forever on TikTok. And hey, man, had to come in here with another pop-up show. These things are getting more and more fun. And hey, let's get ready for Falcon football that is less than 100 days away.
Facts. And y'all know where to catch me, man. But before I tell y'all where to catch me, I already told y'all. Melvin had a question before we get out of here, man. I got to answer it.
Okay.
Because I've been asked this on the show, out in the street, everywhere somebody see me. This is the question that comes up. Who's going to take his spot if he gets traded? And that's an excellent question if you think about it.
It is.
And I tell y'all all the time, tight end like wide receiver is one of those positions where you can have somebody come off the street, get 600-700 yards as long as they're doing their job. Uh, Mark Andrews was the guy in Baltimore, and we talk about Baltimore all show. So I'm gonna keep it there. You look at Mark Andrews, what he's done with the Ravens the last 7-8 years. Look who comes in, does to me a better job, and now he's expendable. Same thing with Kyle Pitts. Nobody is guaranteed a job the next year. Anybody can be moved, but who takes that spot? That yet to be seen. I can see Joshua Simon, the young undrafted
I
rookie,
was just gonna
coming
say.
in. He's athletic. He got good hands. He was a 6-year senior, so he's one of the older guys. So he understands the game a little bit more than the younger guys. So I can see him coming in. Charlie Warner played good bit of snaps last year, but it was mainly as a blocker.
Right.
So I can see him as a red zone target. Jonnu Smith, he's on the trade market. What if they find a way to move Kyle Pitts and find a way to bring back Jonnu Smith? Because y'all got to remember he had 4 touchdowns. I think his time here. And then you look at Michael Pruitt. He had 4 touchdowns a year. Kyle Pitts had what, 2?
He's still in Pittsburgh, right?
He's still in Pittsburgh. So
Yeah,
just think about it, man. It wouldn't be tough to fill that spot. You just got to find somebody that's confident enough to take on that role as being a pass catcher in this offense. And you got to also think if they don't want to use the tight end,
I
they
was just
brought in
about to say
guys.
they got
They
wide
got
receivers.
they got wide receiver Nick Nash, who's 6'3", 200 pounds. You got Casey Washington. You got
That's my
Ray McLeod. So look, necessarily they don't have to replace him. They can use the other tight ends, situational, third down, red zone. But other than that, they have wide receiver that can do the catching. So
right.
Yeah.
Right.
So
We got undrafted guys again. So it's different ways we can go. I mean, Kadero Hodge, I know he's mostly for special teams, but he can be used. He's a big body receiver.
Crazy thing is, for some reason, I think Kadero Hodge going to end up being the number 3 receiver. And the reason why I say that, Ray McLeod, he exceeded expectations. He just does not have that size that Cordero Hodge has. So in that aspect, I can see him being the number 3 receiver, or one of those rookies or one of those guys that's been around for a while could come in and do it. Chris Blair is still on the team. He's been with the Falcons 3 years. So yeah, so I mean it's just all about timing, man. Miss Carey said
she got an update.
She got an update, like always. She said that I saw Bergeron on your mother got into a scuffle at practice. You like to see that. Like to see that. So yeah, you like to see it.
Ding, ding. Let's go. Just win. Let's go. That's what I'm saying. Hey, give me the attitude. Let the best Falcon let the best players win a Falcon jersey. For real, man.
Facts. Yeah. I love it too, man.
Yeah.
Just be careful, man. Just be careful. That's all. Just be careful.
I'm not even saying be careful. I'm gonna just say just buckle your 10 strap, nice and tight. You know what I'm saying? Make sure your technique and everything is on because Lamar has friends as well.
Facts.
Just saying. Lamar has friends around the league. So just strap up, man. We'll be all right.
Facts. But we got 161 people in here right now, man. So
salute to every last one of y'all.
Y'all go to Smitty Sports Machine at A1 Forever, man. Hit that subscribe button. Hit that notification bell so every time we drop a video, y'all will know. And we had to come through, talk to y'all for a minute, but we got to roll, man. And we'll probably be back sometime this week if something breaks. And think about it. It's June 1st. A lot of contracts are finna get ready to slide out the door right before the OTA start.
Yes, sir.
And trust me, it's gonna be some news, and we're gonna be here to bring it to y'all. But for my boy A1 Forever, me, your boy Antoine Smith, I will holler at y'all soon because I gotta find some wings, and I'm gonna say peace.